This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so today um, we are going to discuss on what is CI/CD, CI/CD, and what is Jenkins, and what are plugins in Jenkins. Okay, and how to install Jenkins on Linux server. Okay, and next thing is we are going to create one freestyle job. Okay, or simple. I would say like we are going to create one sample job, one simple job. Create simple Jenkins job. Okay, and the next thing is we'll create one user. Okay, we'll create one Jenkins user. So first thing is, what is CI? CI is nothing but continuous integration, continuous integration. So the meaning of integration is to um, add everything. Okay, integration ante kalapatam. Okay, so the continuous integration is nothing but continuously మనము ఏదైనా కంటిన్యూస్ గా అంటే లైక్ ప్రాసెస్ ని ఇంటిగ్రేట్ చేస్తే దాన్ని కంటిన్యూస్ ఇంటగ్రేషన్ అంటాము. అది సాఫ్ట్వేర్ డెవలప్మెంట్ ప్రాసెస్ లో ఏంటో మనం చూద్దాం. ఫస్ట్ థింగ్, ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ థింగ్, so let's say for example, say this is software development process, so I'll explain each and every stage. Okay, so he's a developer, consider he's a developer, and he's writing the code and pushing the code into GitHub repository. Okay, he's pushing the code into GitHub repository. From there onwards, what we are doing, we are cloning onto the no, we are cloning the code onto some maven build server. Okay, some maven build server, and we are creating one artifact like jar or var. Let's say for example, we are creating jar or var files. Okay, so when is this happening? When the code is correct, right? And the code is correct, what we are doing, like we are taking the code and we are building the code and we are packaging the code into some format like some jar or var format. Okay, let's say some jar or var format. Now let's say for example, if the code is built. Okay, now code like if the code is built, and let's say this code gives some errors, what will happen? Again, developers, they need to work on the code again. Okay, they need to work on the code and they need to push the code to GitHub repository. Okay, and again what they will do, they will push the code to GitHub repository, and from there onwards we need to build the code and we need to package the code into some format. Okay, and also this process, it will take like if you manually do it, every time he has to write the code and GitHub, he need to push the code into GitHub, and again we need to take clone that code to maven server, and we need to build and we need to package this code. So for example, let's say like if we have one server. Okay, if we have one server to automate this process, like whenever a developer commits a code, that server automatically pulls the code and it will start the build, and if there is any exception, it will send an email to developer immediately. So all this process should happen within minutes. Okay, all this process should happen within minutes, so that what will happen, the developer, he will he will get the error quickly, and he can work on it as fast as possible. Okay, he can work on the changes as fast as possible. So this process should happen continuously. Okay, this process should happen continuously. So that is nothing but continuous integration. Okay, that is nothing but continuous integration. Let's say, for example, we have a server. Okay, we have a server called Jenkins, or let's say tool server or Jenkins tool. Okay, we have a Jenkins tool. So what Jenkins will do, it will take the code and it will build the code, and if there is any failure, it will send an email notification to developer. Hey developer, your code is wrong, or something like that, or you have some these exceptions like this. Jenkins will send a report to developer, and developer can quickly act on that code, and he can make the corrections, and he can upload the code into GitHub repository. Okay, this complete process is called continuous integration. Okay, during this process we also have one stage. Okay, that is nothing but static code analysis. Okay, that is nothing but this we call this as static code analysis. I'll write this step here. Okay, static code analysis. What is this static code analysis actually? I told you, right? There is one tool called SonarQube. What it will do? It will compile the code. Sorry, I mean it will scan the code. If there is any complexity, or like let's say for example, if there is any complexity in the code, or if there are any bugs, or if there are any duplicate code, okay, duplicate code. If there is any duplicate code, this SonarQube, it will generate a report. Okay, it will generate a report, and it will send the report to developer. It will send a report to developer. So what developer will do? Again, he will make the code. Sorry, he will correct the code and he will push it to GitHub repository. Okay. Here we have certain parameters like this code should be something like 80%. 80% of the code should be covered. There should be no duplicates. Okay. There should be no duplicate lines or something like that. So SonarQube will take care of that kind of what do you say, analysis. So and it will send a report to developer. Okay. So this entire process, okay, leave about this jar and that. This entire process, like developer committing the code into GitHub repository, and this Jenkins server, this automation server will automatically pull the code, and it will perform some operations. It will build the code, and it will also check for static code analysis, and it will send a report to the developer. So this complete process is called continuous integration. Okay, why we are calling this as continuous integration? Because if we manually do it, like each and every time, GitHub, if the developer commits the code into GitHub repository, and if we have to manually pull that code into server, okay, the maven server. So again, we need to separately install SonarQube in one server, and we need to send a report. Okay, we need to send a report and to the GitHub repository to developer. So how much time it will take? So this is going to take a lot of time, but so if we have to make developers work easy, okay, so their only responsibility is to write the code. And as a DevOps engineer, if we create this GitHub account, and this Jenkins server, by default, we have something called plugins. By using those plugins, we can integrate the software with this maven software with Jenkins, and we can integrate SonarQube with Jenkins. We can integrate any software with Jenkins. Okay, any tools with Jenkins. What this Jenkins will do, whenever the developer commits the code, it will start the build activity. Okay, Jenkins, what it will do, let's say for example, I'll draw this separately. What this Jenkins will do, the activities like it will build the code, and it will test the code, and it will package the code, and it will also deploy the code. Okay, deploy the code. Okay, fine. So the continuous integration is developer commits the code and Jenkins will start the build, and if there is any exception, it will send the it will send a report to developer, and then again it will developer will work on that. This process is called continuous integration. Then what is continuous delivery? Okay, CD. We can call this as continuous delivery, and also we have continuous deployment as well. Both are different. I will explain the difference. Okay, clearly observe this. So till this process is clear, let's say for example everything is good. Developer he has fixed the code and there is no exceptions. And let's say for example again this Jenkins started the build and it tested the code and it packaged the code. What is the output of this package? This is nothing. The output of this package is nothing but jar or var. Okay, output of this package, what is the code, is nothing but jar or var. So once this jar or var is built, see this box it is nothing but Nexus repository. Okay, Nexus, or you can take, we have something like JFrog. Okay, anything. So this box is nothing but artifact repo. I told you, right, jar or var, we can call this as artifacts. Okay, artifact repo management tools. So once the code is successfully built, the Jenkins, what it will do, it will push the code to this artifact repo management tools. Okay, when we integrate this Nexus or JFrog with Jenkins. So when we integrate this Nexus or JFrog server with Jenkins, okay, this this will happen in the organizations. Okay, and also we can say in the next going forward process. So it will commit, it will take the code, okay, and it will build the code. And once the build is successful, it will push the code to Nexus or JFrog repository. So Nexus or JFrog repository is nothing but it contains the jar or var files of the code. Okay, what is this Nexus or JFrog? You can call this as artifact repo management tools, artifact repository management tools. Okay, so from here we can deploy the code in any one of the local servers. Either we can deploy it in Tomcat. Okay, Tomcat is nothing but an application server, or we can deploy it in Ansible, or we can deploy it in Docker or Kubernetes. This is what happens in the organization. Okay, all this process, let's say for example, all this process happens within your organization. Okay, this complete process happens within your organization. These are all local servers. Okay, these are all local servers. These three servers are local servers. Okay, so let's say let's consider these three servers are in pre-production environment. So pre-production environment is nothing but QA environment. Remember, pre-production, staging, QA. Okay, pre-production, QA, staging. Sorry, not QA. Pre-production, staging. Okay, all these these names are nothing but this is a pre-production environment, which is which we are going to test on local servers before going into production. And this is nothing but production. Okay, this is nothing but production. This is live. Okay, production is nothing but live environment. We should be very careful when we are sending our code to production environment. Now, what happened? This the development of this code is successful. Okay, and it is successfully built the code, and it is successfully tested the code, and the code has been packaged into Nexus or JFrog repository. And from here onwards, okay, we are deploying the code onto Tomcat. Okay, and we are deploying the code either on Tomcat or Ansible or on Kubernetes. Let's say, for example, these servers are also integrated with Jenkins. Okay, these servers are also integrated with Jenkins. All these servers indirectly or directly, not indirectly, they are integrated with Jenkins. This complete process is called continuous delivery. Okay, this complete process is called continuous delivery. Continuous delivery is nothing but from packaging the code to deploying the code in the local server. This process is called continuous delivery. Okay, continuous delivery. This complete process is called continuous delivery. Which complete process? Once the code is successfully built, it will generate artifacts into generate artifacts, right? Those artifacts will be pushed into the Nexus repository. From here onwards, we will deploy the code in local servers, either Tomcat or Ansible or Kubernetes, or Docker or Kubernetes, any one of the servers. Okay. So this complete process, the till the local servers, this complete process is called continuous delivery. And let's say, for example, when we are doing this production environment, we will do this. Most of the organizations, they will follow the manual approach, because here, before going to production, let's say, for example, before going to production, where is this? Push. 1 minute. Okay. Now, before going to production, we need manual approvals, right? I told you during the software development lifecycle class, we need manual approval from manager and architect and client. So sometimes client as well. And some not sometimes. Definitely, we need every time we need approvals from client. So from these people, we need sign off approvals. We call them as sign off. Sign off in the sense they are agreeing that we our code, what is our project, it can go into live. So we will take these jar files and we will deploy any one of the server. So here also in the production also the servers are same. Either it could be Tomcat or Ansible or Docker Kubernetes. Any of the technology or tool we will use it for production. Okay, but I told you, right? Production is nothing but it's it's like QA. Sorry, staging is nothing but it's like a production environment. Before going to production, we'll check everything in um, staging. Okay, staging or pre-production environment. So here we need manual approvals. So if we need manual approvals, okay, if we need manual approvals, that is called continuous delivery. If we don't need manual approvals, let's say for example, big companies like Flipkart, Amazon, and some like Netflix, if they have any issue or if they want to deploy anything, they don't every time they don't take these approvals. They'll directly push the code to production environment. Okay, that process is called continuous deployment. Okay, so that process is called continuous deployment. Let's say for example, difference between continuous delivery if we push the code or if we deploy the code, or let's say for example artifact, not the code, artifacts in our local server and post approvals. We deploy this code in, deploy this artifacts in production. This is continuous delivery. Okay, continuous deployment is the deployment process without approvals. Okay, without approvals. So this is CHD. Okay, and what is Jenkins? Jenkins is a CHD tool. Okay, CHD tool, continuous integration and continuous delivery tool, or we can call it as automation tool. Jenkins is a continuous integration or continuous delivery tool or automation tool. which is used to integrate and automate the build, test, and deployment of the code, source code, during software development process. Okay. So what is Jenkins? Jenkins is a CI/CD tool or automation tool which is used to integrate and automate the build, test, deployment of source code during software development process. Okay. So in Jenkins, we have to integrate all these tools. Okay, all these tools. We need to integrate Jenkins with GitHub. We need to integrate Jenkins with SonarQube. We need to integrate Jenkins with Nexus, Tomcat, Ansible. How we can do this? For that purpose, we have something called plugins. Okay, plugins. Plugin is nothing but it's an integrator. It's an integrator to any tool or software. Okay, plugin is nothing but an integrator to any tool or software. Okay, we have 2000 plus plugins in Jenkins. We have 2000 plus plugins in Jenkins. Okay, so we have plugins like we have Ansible plugin, we have Docker plugin, and we have Git plugin, Amazon EC2 plugin. Okay, Amazon EC2 plugin, and we have other plugins as well. So it's difficult to remember each and every plugin, but these are most used plugins. And also we can see when we install Jenkins, I'll show you like how how to create plugins or how to install plugins. Okay, not create, how to install plugins. I'll show you. Okay, and what we have discussed so far, static code analysis, right? Static code analysis. It is nothing but SonarQube will check, will scan the source code and to check for duplicate code and complexities or how much percentage of the code covered. Okay, these factors static code, what is a SonarQube will do, and will send a report to developer. Okay, this is the activity of SonarQube. Okay, now in Jenkins we need to know some terminologies like what is job. Job is nothing but it's a task. Okay, we can call this as a task, and the task is nothing but this complete process, building the code or testing the code. Straight like this, building the code or testing the code or packaging or deployment. This complete process is nothing but a job. Okay, there are multiple jobs. Okay, not only one job. So we can segregate this job in multiple, this complete process in multiple stages. Okay, so we can only build the code and test the code, and we can completely build the package and test the code, package code at once, or we can directly do all these four stages, like we can deploy the code that will happen in continuous deployment process. Okay, job is nothing but it's a task. Now let's see how to install Jenkins. Okay, how to install Jenkins. For that purpose, so we have to install Jenkins on Linux server, right? So what we'll do, we'll create EC2 instances. Okay, we'll create one EC2 instances, and let's say for example, uh, so let's take one RHEL instance. Okay, we can install Jenkins on Ubuntu as well, or Amazon Linux as well. We can install Jenkins on Windows. Generally, nobody use Jenkins on Windows. Most of the time when you go to real-time organizations, they will definitely ask you to what do you say, work on Jenkins on server, not on Windows. So what we can do, we will try to launch one instance. Okay, here we will name this as Jenkins RHEL because we are doing this in RHEL server. So RHEL is nothing but Red Hat. Okay, Red Hat or RHEL both are same. So I am just installing this Jenkins on Red Hat server. Okay. Now I selected this option. I choose reader eligible. Okay. Red Hat enterprise 8. Now instance type is reader eligible and create key pair, or we can use the existing one. Okay. We can use the existing one. Let's say I have already Red Hat key pair. I just want to use this. It has, it's in my local Red Hat. I want to use this instead of creating key pair. I would like to use this. And I am using default security group. Okay, I'm using default security group and I'm creating the instance. Just simply click on the launch EC2 instance. Just creating EC2 instance. Okay, now if you click on this, it will redirect you to another management console, or we can directly go to EC2 and instances. Let's say for example, it is still in training process. It is sitting. Okay. Now so there is our RH here. We can search for it. Let's go to EC2 dashboard. See, we have Jenkins RHEL server here, right? Let's take this. It is in running state. Okay. Let's go to connect and copy this SSH command. I created this EC2 instance with this right, this public key, and I'm doing git bash here. Now, paste this code, paste this command, and let's say yes. I would like to switch to root user. Sudo su minus. Okay. So this is a fresh EC2 instance which is created in Amazon Web Services. Okay. Now, for installation of any software, okay, you don't have to worry about any software installations. Okay, if you want to install Maven, you have official website Maven how to install it. Okay, and if you have to install Jenkins, you have official website for that. Okay, for official website for Jenkins is jenkins.io. Okay, if you enter jenkins.io, it will show like the website like this, and in this you have documentations like installing Jenkins pipeline. You can go through these documentations. You can get the information, or you can say you can simply click on this link. Okay, it will give you the complete information. Okay, it will give you the complete information. So you can click here as well, install Jenkins. It will also take you to this process, complete process. We can install Jenkins on four methods. Okay, first thing is we can install Jenkins on four methods. We can use java-jar jenkins.org. There is one command. If you run this command on your Windows machine or Linux machine, it will install the Jenkins. Or we can install Jenkins through Docker image. We haven't discussed Docker concept, but we can install Jenkins through Docker image. Third one is we can install using some manual steps, okay, which we follow. We can generally we will follow this step. This is a standard practice. Okay, the third one is the standard practice. We have some commands that we will execute on Linux server and we will install the Jenkins. But in order to install Jenkins, we should definitely need Java. Okay, we definitely need Java. So installing Jenkins. Jenkins is typically run on a standalone application. It is built in with Java servlet. Okay, so Jenkins is built with Java application. That is the reason we need Java. So we need to install this on Linux, right? So we'll go to this Linux session, and here we have different Linux flavors. If you check this, this is the process for Ubuntu, and this is the process for. If you click on this, these are the commands for Ubuntu. Okay, for installation of Jenkins, and if you go to go back, this is for Fedora, and this is for Red Hat or CentOS operating system. Okay, here we have different versions of Jenkins. Okay, versions is nothing but this weekly release is there. Like the meaning, every week there will be an update in Jenkins. They will add this update. Okay, and this is long-term support. So suppose if you install this Jenkins, for 12 weeks, at least 12 weeks in the sense around 4 months, you won't be having any changes. You can by default, okay, use this version. There won't be any changes. So most of the time, what happens is organizations use this long-term support, okay, for building purpose. I told you, right? We need Java for installing Jenkins somewhere. Okay, hardware requirements, Java requirements page. Okay, you go to this Java requirements page. You need to install either JDK 11 or JRE. Okay, JRE 11. JRE is nothing but Java runtime environment. Okay, you have to install this in the server. Okay, and for that we have command called install. Okay, let's try to install space JRE or JDK. Okay, we don't need to remember commands. Okay, you can directly copy from Google. So sudo install Java, even that will work. Okay, let's take this. So we can follow this command. Okay, or we can follow this as well. So the problem with Red Hat Linux is it will take so much time to install any package or software. Okay. We can use this link as well. Okay. We'll use this link as well. OpenJDK devel. So if we have any additional what is it, packages also, we can increase. We can install this. If you say this Java 11 OpenJDK, So Java 11 is installing. Java hyphen version. Open JDK 11.6 version is installed. Java runtime is there also. Java JDK is there. Open JDK is also there. So now Java is installed. Let's go with our Jenkins installation process. Okay. Let's go to Jenkins and Red Hat Apps CentOS. If you don't know how to install, you can set this YouTube process. But anyway I'm explaining this, right? You don't need to follow that method. So what this process, what is the meaning of this first command? Wget -o etc yum repos jenkins.repo https package.jenkins.io and Red Hat stable. Okay. So for installing Jenkins on Red Hat Linux machine, we need some packages, right? We are downloading this package using wget command. Okay, we are importing the package onto server using wget package. Where am I? A bit confused. Where did I install this? So 3189 100. Okay, 132. What is this server? Jenkins on the right. Okay, 172 3189 100. Okay, let's close this. So now what you'll do? You'll directly simply paste this command here and hit enter. It is saying wget now command not found. Okay, we have to install wget. Yum install wget. It is asking for confirmation. Simply click on yes. Now if you use up arrow, okay, instead of using like this, we'll copy the command. Even it will work, but we'll take this command from Jenkins website itself. Now hit enter. What is it? It has saved this package. Okay, yum package. And now this RPM hyphen import https package Jenkins. Okay, Red Hat stable jenkins.io key. So this what this RPM command is doing is it is importing the additional package, like it is creating one key. It is importing this key which is required for Jenkins installation. Okay, so you don't have to worry about these commands. You don't need to remember this as well. You can directly go to this website and use these commands. Sudo yum upgrade. Okay, next command is sudo yum upgrade. So this system is not here. It is upgrading, like we installed Jenkins, right? So we need to update that in the server. So for that purpose, we can use this command. And the next step is sudo yum install Java 11 openjdk. So here he has mentioned the same command. We already installed Java, so that is why we can explore this. The next thing is we need to install Jenkins. Okay. So you don't have to worry about any installation process. You can simply follow the official documentation. Okay. And official documentation contains each and every step. You can follow that. It's not only for Jenkins. It is for Maven or it is for Tomcat. Anything, any software or tool, you will be having official documentation. Okay. If you don't know how to do it, you can Google it. You will be having a lot of videos as well. So it has to update 156 packages. Out of 156, only 51 are updated. Now if you say this 156 out of 156 packages are updated, please wait for the process to be completed. Okay, you directly don't do any control C or any activity. Please wait for the process to be in. Once it is completed, it will show that server name. Then only you have to execute all the commands. Sorry, I mean someone try to remind me. Okay, I need to increase this font size. I cannot increase during this process. Once this is done, I'll try to increase my font size. So this is the disadvantage with this RX RHL servers. Actually, it will take some time to upgrade packages. So we can install Jenkins on Ubuntu server as well. Okay. So when you are practicing this Jenkins, try to go to official documentation. Okay, and you try to take one server. If we can install it in, since this is a practice, you can install in multiple servers. Okay, you can directly open this Debian or Ubuntu, and these are all commands. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. This curl command is to import this Ubuntu package. Okay, package is same. This Jenkins package, it is same. Okay, but the commands are bit different. Okay, if you say this is an Ubuntu operating system, that is why it is using this package. Okay, and you need to use second command, this command, to import one more additional binaries, and the sudo apt update is to update the packages, and the sudo apt get install is to install the server. You just try this. For this also we need Java. Don't forget, you need to install Java. Okay, and please use this installation process only. Don't go to weekly release. Okay, because weekly release it will give the updates. So here in this below session, he has given information about how to install Java, OpenJDK or Java. So here you have to follow these steps. Okay, you have to follow these three steps to install Java on your system. And okay, this is for Fedora. So let's go to the Linux again. And it is taking so much time to complete this process here. It is okay. Now it's done. Now we have done this step. Okay, we have done till this, and we have already installed Java. So let's take this command and we'll execute it. Okay, so I am install Jenkins. What it will do? It will install Jenkins in RHEL server. Y. You need to say yes. Okay, it is installing Java. Okay, so now let's see what is the next command. System reload. Sudo systemctl daemon reload. What this will do is when you install any software or anything, so it will reload all the packages. Okay, it will reload all the packages. So all the it will reload all the updates. Now this is done. Okay, this is done, but installation is done, but we need to do what? We have to enable the Jenkins, and also we need to start the Jenkins. Okay, enabling is nothing but we are activating the Jenkins using this command sudo systemctl enable Jenkins, and the next thing is you can start the command, use this command sudo systemctl start Jenkins. Remember this, each and every time you don't need to use sudo because you are already a root user. If we are doing this in plain EC2 instance, like without logging in as a root sudo user, you have to use this sudo. Even this command will work. Okay, systemctl start Jenkins. Systemctl start is a command to start any service. Okay, Jenkins is service, that is why we are giving systemctl start Jenkins. Okay, and the next command is systemctl status Jenkins. Let's do Control C and paste the command and hit enter. Okay, now the command next thing is sudo systemctl status Jenkins. Let's check the status of Jenkins. What is the status of Jenkins? Okay, see, the Jenkins is active and running, means Jenkins Jenkins is installed in our server. And if you see this HTTP port 8080, Jenkins is by default running on 8080 port. Okay, remember this, Jenkins by default running on 8080 port. Now this is showing the status, right? Just enter Control C and check for Jenkins versions. Jenkins hyphen version. What is it doing? Jenkins hyphen version should work. Wait. So this is the command to check Jenkins version. Jenkins hyphen version 2.346.3. This is the version. Okay. So let's say for example, okay. For example, Jenkins is running in our server, but we need to access this Jenkins in UI. Okay. For that purpose, okay. For that purpose, we have to allow this 8080 port in security groups. Otherwise, we will face some errors. So for that purpose, you need to go to these EC2 missions where this Jenkins is installed, and you need to go to security groups. Click on that security group, and in the actions, you can edit inbound rules. Okay, inbound rules, and here you have to add rule. You need to. That's why you are allowing. That's how you are allowing this Jenkins. Okay, you can give it as any child flag and save rule. So we have added inbound security. Okay, now if you go to EC2, there is a server. So Jenkins RSCL server is there, right? Now what we can do is you can take this public IP and the browser HTTP some /control V. You need to paste the public IP of that machine and semicolon 8080. Okay, semicolon 8080. You will get like this. Okay, you will get like this. So getting started. First, remember we need to enable security group. Otherwise, it won't show like this. Okay. And here to ensure Jenkins is securely set up by the administrator, a password has been written to them. Okay, and on this file on this server. So what is he saying? We need administration password to set up Jenkins. Okay, please copy the password from either of the location and paste it. So where lib Jenkins secrets, this is the directory for Jenkins. Okay, and initial admin password. So we need to see this. If you want to see any content, what is the Linux command? Cat, right? You can simply use cat and paste that. It will give the password. Okay, you have to copy this password and you have to paste this password in the this location. You need to click on continue. Okay, you need to click on continue. Now what will happen? We will get two pop-ups. Okay, two blocks. First thing is install suggested plugins. Second one is select plugins to install. So what does this means? So Jenkins will automatically install the required plugins in the first option. Okay, in the second option you can choose which plugin to be installed. Okay, but my suggestion is always use this install suggested plugins because Jenkins know the complete CI/CD process. They it knows how to install hundreds of servers. Sorry, hundreds how to integrate with hundreds of servers. So for that purpose, which tool which plugin is required. So Jenkins will know all this information. That is why I suggest you to use install suggested plugins. You just click on this. Okay, it will show like this. Getting started. And it will install the default plugins. Okay, whatever is required, and then it will install default plugins. You see this here, Gradle, Mailer, so pipeline, Git. It is installing Git plugin here. Okay, as such build agents, LDAP, PAM authentication, email extension. All these are plugins. Okay, all these are plugins. It is installing. Jenkins is installing these plugins. Now, once the installation is completed, it will ask for username. Okay, I'm just creating the admin user, means the administrator of the Jenkins account. I'm giving one password. Okay, for easy remembering purpose, I give this admin as a password, but in real time, you need to give different passwords. Okay, let's see. Admin has a password and confirm password. It will ask for confirm password and full name. You can give administrator name. Okay, I will give administrator name as Sai Kiran DevOps, something like this. Okay, you can give anything, and email address you can give any dummy email address. Okay, Sai Kiran 123 @gmail.com. But let me give my email. Nothing will happen even if you give your email. Save and continue. So the password that you used to breach was found in a data breach. Google Password Manager recommends changing password. It is saying that we use the same password, right, admin? Anyone can access this server. So that is the reason he is asking us to change the password. So you don't have to worry about it. So this is the Jenkins URL. Okay, this is the Jenkins URL. Whenever you try to access it, you just need to use this URL. Say this is for my machine only. Okay, don't get confused. This is the public IP address of my machine. So that is why it is showing this, and save and finish. Start using Jenkins. Now this is the complete Jenkins dashboard. In this, if you say this, Sai Kiran DevOps is the Jenkins administrator. Okay, okay. Here in this sections, okay, we have a dashboard. If you click on this dashboard, we have multiple sections. Okay, you have multiple sections like how to create a job. Job I told you, right? Building the project and testing the project and deploying the project. So we can create a job, or we can create an agent. Agent is nothing but I'll explain in the next class. Agent is nothing but whenever there is a huge load on this Jenkins server, he wants if this server wants to share the load, for that purpose we can create agent. Okay, configure a cloud is nothing but if you want to add any Amazon based servers, AWS services, you can configure that cloud. Okay, so likewise we have multiple options. So if you check this on left side, we have new items, we have people over here, and we have build history. Okay, build history is nothing but whenever you do this build, it will show the complete number of builds. Okay, I will show you in couple of minutes. So this manage Jenkins dashboard, this manage Jenkins option, it contains the complete information about um, the Jenkins this thing. What is it? UI. Here in this section, configure systems. In this configure systems, you can configure any agent. Okay, I told you, right? Jenkins, we have to share the load to any other server. We can configure load here. Okay, we can set up our server, and also I told you the Jenkins will send an email to developer, right? So we can email notifications of all the developers emails will be integrated in one SMTP server, and if we give that link here, okay, it will send a mail to developer. So like this we can do these configurations. We can add agent related information here, and again go to manage Jenkins. Here global tool configuration. So all the tools, say suppose git is installed, okay, you can give the git path here. Okay, this path is nothing but location where the git is installed. It is not like the GitHub repository or something like that. It is location of the um, software where is it is installed, like git local has been like that. And this is Gradle path. Okay, the Gradle is also one of the build tool. This is and is also build. Build tool Maven is there. We know that Maven, we have gone through Maven, right? So we can add Maven installation here. Okay, we can add Maven installation here, the path and everything. Okay, so it is not required. We will see that these stages later. So, and if you go to manage Jenkins again, so you have manage plugins. I told you, right? Plugins option. So here, if you go to this available plugins, we have already installed plugins are there. Okay, see this Git is installed, Git plugin is installed. Okay, this authentication tokens plugin is installed. Maven integration plugin. Okay, these are all available plugins. Okay. Sorry, these are all available plugins, not installed plugins. These are all available plugins. Installed plugins are this. Okay, if you see this, these are installed while installing the Jenkins. Okay, if you click on this red mark, you can uninstall this plugin. Okay, if you click on this red mark, you can uninstall the plugin. Now folders plugin is there, git client plugin is there. Okay, git plugin is there. Like this Gradle plugin is there. We have many default plugins which are installed during the Jenkins installation process. Okay, so let's go to available. If you want to install any plugin, let's say for example I want to install Ansible plugin. Ansible plugin. So I have to select this and click on install without restart. Okay, now if you click on this download now and install, install after restart, what will happen? It will download the plugin into Jenkins server, but whenever you restart the Jenkins server, it will install. So most of the time we have to choose this option only, install without restart. So what it will do, it will directly install the plugin. See, preparation, checking internet connectivity successful. So it is simply installing the plugin. Okay, now it is simply installing the plugin. Let's go to manage Jenkins dashboard. Okay, manage plugins, install plugins, install section. You can see if you click on check this Ansible plugin is in installed state. So again we are going to manage Jenkins. Okay, here manage nodes is nothing but if you want to add any mission or anything like that, you can upload, you can add it. So configure global security. So here we can provide the Jenkins security related information. This thing, manage credentials. If you are using any servers, okay, Jenkins, you can create credentials. Okay, username and password here, and for that, that's how you can link to the server. Suppose if you want to add any external server and you want to provide set up some username and password, you can set up here. Okay, we'll see these options later. And if you again go to manage Jenkins dashboard, configure credentials provider. Okay, if you click on this option, see this configure credential provider is nothing but, so only selected, we have some options to set up credentials as well. Okay, for username and passwords, we can do this later, we can go through this session later. And manage Jenkins, whatever. So manage users and okay, create users or delete users. Now we are administrators. Okay, if we have to create any user, how do we create users? Simply click on this user on the left side. Okay, once again we'll go to this back to dashboard. Manage Jenkins option. Remember this, and inside this manage users. Okay, here we have only one user, that is admin user, and that is my name Sai Kiran. Simply I am creating one more user like this. Okay, I am creating user called Priya. Okay, I am creating user called Priya, and I am setting some password. I am setting Priya as a password. Okay, full name is Priya DevOps. I am giving some dummy email priya1238@gmail.com. Okay, so simply click on this create user. Okay, see, ignore about this. Priya user is created. Okay, I can now log out. Okay, I can now log out as Priya user. So I can now log in as Priya user as well. Okay, I'm just logging out and logging as Priya user. See, here we have Priya DevOps. So now the user is Priya. Okay, Priya can what is it? Build perform operations. She can build the code. She can do the activities. Okay. Now this is Priya DevOps user. Okay. Now let's log in as admin user only. Okay. So let's go to new item. Here we'll be having different projects. Okay. The freestyle project is there. Pipeline project is there, and multi-branch pipeline. Okay. If we have to create multiple set of pipelines. Okay. You can create using this multi-branch pipeline. Okay, so I'm simply clicking on this freestyle and giving one um, name as job one. Okay, in real time you have to give project like this. Okay, if you have to be doing some HSDP banking feature, HSDP banking. Okay, like this you need to give project name. For sample, what is it? I'm explaining this for example, right? So for that is the purpose I'm creating this job one, and I'm clicking on OK. Now it will open dashboard like this. Okay, it will open prompt like this. Inside this, we have options like discard old builds. Okay, data project. Okay, I will explain what are these. Okay, source code management. I will explain what are these in next class. You don't have to worry about anything. Source code management. Source code management is nothing but our Git, right? So you can take this, you can copy path from GitHub, and you can create one more build. Okay, you can give the path here, and which branch that this build should happen. You can mention the branch here. Okay, for now I'm just simply clicking none. I want to show how is the build. Okay, so this build trigger option I will explain tomorrow. Okay, so whenever developer commits any changes to the source code, we can set up any one of the option. Okay, build periodically or full SCM. Based on that, this Jenkins will pull the code. Okay, and it will start the builder in this build environment. Okay, and this you can ignore this. I will explain these steps later. Let's do a simple build. Okay, execute shell. You just come to this build section and I'll show you. Wait, add build step, right? Execute this shell. Okay, and I'm doing a simple, very simple build. I want to display my command. Okay, hello world. Hello world is my command. I want to execute this shell script. Okay, simply write like hello world and save this. Echo hello world and save this. Now, once saved, you can go to build now section. Okay, you can go to build now section. You have to click on this build now. So once you click on this build now, see here, one job has been built. If you can check, you can check this right console output. See, started by Jenkins user. Okay, Jenkins workspace. This is the Jenkins workspace by default. Varlib Jenkins is the default Jenkins directory. Okay, and echo hello world we have executed. The output is hello world. Okay, finished success. Go back to the project. Now, if you check this, this is the build that happened. Now, you can go here as admin user. You can check the builds here as well. Okay, see, we have created a job one, right? If you click on this, it will open like this. Okay, and if you want to check this, okay, if you want to check this, you can simply click on this. Okay, the console output is to check the output of the build. Okay, console output is to check the output of the build. So right now, actually, we are overtime, and it is almost 9:06. So let's stop it, and tomorrow we will discuss on